the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns? I've been a burden to many people asking this question from time to time. Who is a beast? Who is this beast with 7 heads and 10 horns? Well, the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns are in the Bible, and it is the 4th world government called UNO, but its prophetic name is 4th Kingdom. Do you understand? It is the beast. It's not like the lion with 10 heads or the leopard that with 7 heads and 10 horns and other things that artists used to draw and tell you this is the. It is not as of the kingdoms that pass an old eschatologist or conservative eschatologist would have been teaching us. No. The present revelation by the Spirit of God shows us scripturally, strikingly, meeting up with scriptural interpretations and the biblical applications of today's generation, that it is a world government. God has made available to reign in the world. And so, knowledge of this is going to honestly change your life as a Christian and as a politician or an ordinary Christian. For you to note the hour you are living in. For the Bible prophecy must have observation, as it is written in the Bible, interpretation, and application. If Bible prophecy has no application, it is not Bible prophecy, because it must apply to a particular generation that God has ordained it to be. Otherwise, it will be guesswork. And we are happy we are in the generation when this application is very practically and clearly known, seen, touched by us. And so I wish that you finish watching this video so that we can be able to understand to an extent of this person who is the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. The Bible tells us, as we go through the message of the scriptures, the first of it was revealed by Daniel of old. In the book of Daniel chapter 2 verse 40 down to 43, Daniel said that the 4th kingdom shall be second to none. It shall be a subduer and the destroyer of the earth, and bruise the earth into pieces. Talking about nuclear manifestation of its military. Then it shall be of strength of the strength of iron in it, showing unity in diversity, as they are mixed up and the kingdom is divided. Yet there is strength of iron in the division. That is unity in diversity, meaning democracy. Then they talk about in the kingdom, some shall be strong as iron, some shall be weak as a clay. Talking about the veto power of the 5 nations we have of the UNO of today. And then which is America, Russia, Britain, France, and China. And others are like weak nations or weak clay coming together and agree on one thing, having veto power given to these 5. And when they come to UNO, the world government, they agree on one thing, sanction or go to war. That is the politics, the government of the 4th kingdom. Then you also have the culture of Olympics and World Cup matches of the Fourth Kingdom, the world government that we see today going on. There are some UNO or world government that we are before them, before this present one, known as Iraq or Babylonian Kingdom. That's in the book of Daniel chapter 2 verse 37. Daniel said, you are the good head. So that was the time Babylon, under Nebuchadnezzar, ruled the whole world of his own time. That's the world UNO, the UN, the first UN. The second one was from Iran, under Persia, and Medo Persia. Daniel chapter 5 verse 30 to 31. And so when first the Babylonian kingdom fell, Iranian kingdom came up. Looked like as inferior, because it didn't have much difference from the first. The third came through Rome, Luke chapter 2 verse 1, during which time Caesars were in control of the world. Rome was in control of the world and decreed that everyone should go for a tax in his own country. When Jesus Christ, when the mother of Jesus Christ came and the stepfather came to Bethlehem, and there they delivered Jesus Christ. That was when Rome was in control of the world. And after Rome, nobody was able to be controlled. Nations were breaking out and forming kingdoms and nations and independence and so on and so forth, until Franklin Roosevelt of America in 1945 emerged, after the First World War, or after the Second World War, to form the UN with these veto powers I've mentioned earlier, and over 50 nations formed the UN in order to prevent war, to boost the economy, to do this, they do this. And every UN stepped in at the feet of the formation of nuclear war, which ended the war. When America invented nuclear war and took it to Hiroshima and Nagasaki and blew them off and destroyed the whole nations, the whole people, human beings, the animals, the trees, everything, like Sodom and Gomorrah, destroyed it in mass, that made the leader of Japan to raise up his hand and say, I surrender. So you see that the Fourth Kingdom emerged together with the invention of the nuclear war, showing what Daniel said, that it shall have a military power that will destroy in mass people, which is nuclear. We are seeing today. And so we see these 50 nations coming together to form UN. This is the Fourth Kingdom after Rome, and which we are all the children of Fourth Kingdom today. Yes, from that time till now, it's almost, this is 2019, it's almost 74 years now of world peace. Not that there are no wars, but there has not been a war called World War, because the next World War may even happen. Yet it is not the World War God is talking about that is very frightening, but the World War that shall carry out when rapture takes place. The World War that shall come shall be nuclear world war. I want you to take note of that. If there is no rapture, any war that is called world war, whether the third, fourth, or fifth, is not the war God has in mind. The war God has in mind is the war that shall come after rapture, and it must of necessity be a nuclear world war that will usher the winner into UNO supremacy, world supremacy. Do you understand? Good. So, but for the meantime, while we are waiting for rapture and waiting for such a time, the world is enjoying UNO of peace, trying to have peacekeeping forces, trying to negotiate, help the poor countries recognize the crying people for independence and so on and so forth, to make sure that there is peace. Which they have achieved till today, having 74 of 74 years of peace. I want to assure you that you have a great advantage today. Think about what we are saying. May God give you wisdom and knowledge and revelation of the beast. Having said this, therefore, we see the beast with 7 heads simply signifies the 7 continents of the world through which UN draws its membership. These are America continent, European continent, Asia continent, African continent, South American continent, Australia continent, and the Greenland continent. 7 of them produce membership to the 4th kingdom. These are from where UN has drawn its 194 membership countries. They are the 7 heads of the beast called UN, the world 4th kingdom. And then we see the 10 what do you call it? We have 7 heads, and then we have the 10 crowns. Okay, the 10 crowns, or the 10 horns rather. The 10 horns means the 10 horn in the Bible talks to us about power, and so it is talking about the 10 world powers that have nuclear in their arsenal. The 10 world nuclear nations in the UN beast. That immediately after America invented the nuclear bomb that stopped the Second World War on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, then the race to nuclear began. Before you know it, Russia had their own, Britain had their own, China had their own, France had their own, then Pakistan, then India, and then Israel, and North Korea, and the 10th is said to not be very clear, but it is ascribed to Iran, but not yet very much proved. So you have these 10 nations that have nuclear, being called 10 nuclear power nations. They are the 10 heads of the 10 crowns of the 7-headed world government, UN. So it is very clear who is the beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns is UNO, and its 10-nation nuclear world powers. Is in the Bible about the nuclear powers. Daniel chapter 7 verse 24 tells us that this kingdom, 4th kingdom, shall produce 10 horns, and the 10 horns shall have the first, and then another following it that shall subdue the first and subdue 3 more others. And he's simply talking about the fourth kingdom, the UN, that shall produce 10 nuclear nations, of which America is the first. In 1945, and when America produced it, then we have others that followed. Today we have 10 of them. Don't you see the Bible fulfilled? Don't you see the Bible fulfilled in our time? And these 10 nations have nuclear mass destructive weapons and warheads. Yet none of them could be able to use it, since they have it in their arsenal, in their hundreds and their thousands. Yet none of them could use it. Why? Because their time has not come. Their time has not come. Because they know that nuclear is an ill wind that blows no man good. If it is thrown here, all the countries round about it will be affected. Thousands in the continent will have this effect in one way or the other for the next 5-6 years, dying gradually and in sorrow. The effects of nuclear. They know. Americans know, Russians know, France, Britain, all of them. But they can't use it. But they do not know. When you ask them, why are you producing it? Since you know you cannot use it, why do you produce it? Why do you spend billions of naira in budget for each production? They don't even know why. But God has reason. God is allowing them to preserve it because God will allow them to use it to help him in wiping away sin and sinners in the Great Tribulation. When the nuclear war will start, it is ill wind that knows no boundary. And then they will know why they have gotten it and kept it till that time. Therefore, the only way to escape is to believe Jesus Christ now. For when the time comes, there will be no escape. People will be dying in their millions from nation to nation in the race to have supremacy over the world in the UNO. If this revelation has touched you, give God glory. You can subscribe to my other end-time videos. Maybe you'll be able to understand it better than you know now. Subscribe to my videos and go to my website as written in the description. And if God is touching you to support my ministry to the whole world on evangelism and church equipping, support it with the account from Sobify Global Services. It will reach us. Or call me on phone, and I will assure you to open up a good relationship with you as a partner to finish this work on world evangelization and church equipping. My name is Reverend Will Johnson, and I want to assure you that God will bless you through my ministry, and I expect to be blessed through your ministry too. Thank you for watching. In Jesus' name, amen. Bye.